a lot of women that we are currently working with have lost their source of livelihoods. In one of our projects where we are working with women energy entrepreneurs, for example, we've been supporting them to set up their businesses, to grow their businesses. And at the moment, I'm troubled by the fact that we wouldn't be in a position to supplement any of the income that they would be losing, right? But to think about that, this was their opportunity. To really, economic empowerment goes such a long way, especially for rural women. We have seen from our work that the minute that they have some money in their purse, they're able to influence fundamental decisions in their household, decisions about how money is used. At this time when the pandemic is affecting households in very different ways, women would have the opportunity to influence decisions about how the money is spent, whether it's household items or education or even just additional protection that households would need at this time. And so it's a real worry and it's a real risk that it might take us a bit back. And when we're thinking about pandemic, we're thinking about the health consequences as well. But we really need to think about the new fragilities in economic sustainability, especially for low-income communities and unfortunately for women. I immediately think about one of the women that I met a couple of weeks ago, who through our partnership and working with her had started her own energy enterprise and had been selling, from solar home systems to solar TVs. And the last conversation that I had with her is about how she's ready to open up a second shop. So I was just blown away with how enterprising she was. And, when I asked her, what were you doing a year ago before you started this? And she said, oh, nothing. I was sitting at home. And she just embodied empowerment. She was, running her own business. She was employing other women as part of her supply chain. And now she was talking about expanding her chain. And, when we asked her about her income, it was enough to sustain her livelihood. It was enough to take her even through technical training. So she's not only selling solar home systems, but she's also installing them for community members. So it would, to think about how much she has built up and how much something like this would expose her, if, for example, she needed to carry on her business, that means she still needs to engage with the community. She would still be at risk of catching the virus, but at the same time, the burden of being able to sustain her business currently, I can only imagine what she's going through at this moment.